this is a video on how to make and edit scenes for this soundboard, which is a Yamaha model 47CL. It's fairly simple. So if you come to, you see right here, this tells you the scene that you're currently on. Right now we're on scene 001, which is currently named the prom. If you want to make a new scene, tap right there, and then you can either move up and down this list. It's a little confusing because these move the number up, which moves it down, even though it's the up key. You can also use this dial right here, and that'll let you scroll a lot faster. So I'm just going to go to a blank scene, and in order to store it, hit the store button. It asks you for a name. It automatically puts in the name of the current scene that you're on. You can put something in, like I'll just put in test, and you hit store. Asks you if you're sure. You hit OK, and there it is. And now you're on the scene as well. It automatically puts you there. You can tell if you're just hovering a scene and not actually on it, it will be flashing like this. So I'm still in scene 20, but I'm hovering over scene 19. So scenes are going to recall what microphones you have on over here. So if you have any of these buttons selected, so if I turn these on, you're going to see that there is now an E next to this scene. That means that you are still on the scene, but your current settings are not the same as what is recorded. So if I now hit recall, you can see that these have all turned off, because that is how it was when the scene was recorded. I have made a few changes to the way the board works, so the equalization for mics should not change when you change scenes. So if you put equalization on people's mics, you will not have to re-record all the scenes after you've done that. It should be fine. If it is changing with the scenes, you can fix that. All the information on scenes is in the owner's manual, which is kept in the gray shelving unit in the sound booth. It's on page 125 and forward. It's a whole chapter. Additionally, there are some user-defined keys that I've created that are helpful. I'll show you how I did that. If you hit the setup button right here, go to user setup and user-defined keys. You might be on preference when you come into this, but there's these tabs down here. This one says user-defined keys, so you press it. I have made the keys that I made last year for rent were the INC recall or increase recall, DEC recall, decrease recall, or direct recall, which were for user-defined keys 9, 10, and 11. These made it easier for me because it allowed me to switch scenes without having to hit, basically, if you want to switch scenes, normally you have to hit like the increase button, recall. In this case it's empty, so it doesn't do that. But with these user-defined keys, I can simply just hit 10, and that brings me back one scene. And this one's an actual scene. So I can hit 9, that'll increase by 1 and go back to our test scene. It's pretty easy to make these. You just tap the button you want to do, and you can go through and change. There's a lot of different things you can do, but the ones that I use in this case, it was scene. You can go to increase recall, you can go to decrease. There's a direct, you can just choose whatever scene. Like I have 11 as a direct recall, which went to the very first scene that I created for rent last year, which was a no mic scene. So also if for whatever reason, if I just need to shut off all the mics, it was very easy to do that without turning off the band. And you can also undo a recall or undo storing a scene if you don't want it there. And that's user-defined keys, and I think that's it for.
What would you do if you wanted to edit old cue that you set up and you wanted to fix it?
Yeah.
Edit that test cue.
So this testing. So I'm on test. Let's say right now test is completely blank. Actually, 24 is on. Let's say I wanted it to be completely blank. I just turn off 24, and now we have the E, which means the scene. What we have currently is different from the settings the scene has recorded. So if you just hit store again and just hit store, you don't have to change the title, it's already there. Now it's edited, and if I go back a scene and then forward again, you'll see that didn't do what I meant it to do. I hit the wrong button. But anyway, if you go back to 20, our test, you'll see that now, 24 is off.
Thank you, Alex.
Yeah.